as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day.
Cybergran, otherwise known as Fiona Catchpole, is our social media expert for Marbella. Now, she doesn't want to make sure you know when you're on the telly. Also, if you want to be on the telly, you can contact us because we have all new emails and things, so you can contact us easily and be able to pronounce them, because mi Marbella RTVM was a bit of a mouthful. So we've now got whole new emails, which we'll be putting on the screen. And Fiona, you're going to explain to people how they can follow us and interact.
Well, we have a very proactive Facebook page, so you can follow us on the Facebook page and do try and put us as what's called a see first. I put a little diagram the other day actually, so I'll make sure we put that up the top as well and put that on the website, because sometimes you miss things on Facebook and you want to make sure, because there are lots and lots of cool things happening very, very soon with the United Nationalities Marbella Summit.
And you've also got the Women's Day coming up now, which is really interesting.
We have the St Patrick's Festival, and Marbella Now will have all of these details on, so it is one of the pages to watch if you want to know what's going on in the area. We now have our YouTube channel,
which we're beginning to load the things up on.
So all the programs will be on there and the playlists at the end of the week. And if you want to take part in the program, come over to the Facebook page and send us a message. That would be the first port of call. So many other things. What else have we got going on?
I don't know, but the thing is, the most important thing is
blogging. All of your articles for the Euro Weekly News.
It's trying to keep everyone
radio
informed.
Interviews, yeah. And everything is being updated. So our online platforms and presence are, very, very up to date. You can find out what you need to know about Marbella by following Marbella Now.
Yes, exactly. And it's called Marbella Now because it's what's happening in Marbella now.
Now, the clue is in the title.
Yes. Funny, because the other day I did an article in the Euro Weekly because I interviewed Charmaine Arbwin, who's our British consul on Mi Marbella Radio. Now, the information to get out is very important because with the exit from the European Union, for example, some people are finding they're having problems renewing on the padron, getting work permits, they're being made to jump through hoops that they didn't have to jump through before, and nothing really should have changed. And so now is the time to register on the padron, for example, if you want to remain in Spain after the exit from the European Union. Lots of little tips that actually are very, very useful. I think sometimes it would seem when people see consul, the embassy, that's all fake and they're not really giving us the news. But Charmaine is an immigrant like us. She has family here like us. She's got children like us. So
there is a lot to take on board, but the one thing that binds us together as an international community, like you always say, better together, is that we are all in this same kind of pot of sometimes misinformation, but we have it all now on Marbella Now because we are working really, really hard at making sure that we bring everybody together, and so I'm really
not competing with anyone.
Yeah.
A platform to mix everybody together because information is privileged, and we all have lots of information in our different sections. It's just getting it cross-section sharing of information.
And online networking is as well. I mean, obviously face-to-face networking, nothing replaces that, but the online world. So that's my thing. I'm a Facebook specialist, and so this, we're building it all really, really solid so everybody can find everything they need to know.
Let's make it as easy as that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Fiona.
No problem.
I'm very happy with
Great
this.
coffee here at Velvet.
Yes, they also have very good coffee.
Lovely coffee.
This has got everything.
Oh, I'm coming again. Can I come again?
Okay. We're spoilt for choice of where to go out of an evening to wine and dine. However, due to the very strict drinking and driving laws and the fear of those controls, we frequently stay very close to home. Now, Anne Lily's been wanting to go to the much acclaimed Takumi for a while, but she lives in Alveria, and that's the centre of Marbella. But thanks to the new Safety First policy by Linea Director, she decided that she would venture out because if she needed to, she could put the policy into practice, and that's exactly what happened. Lily and Tom had an absolutely fabulous dinner at Takumi, so much so that when it got time to go home and Lily realised that her one glass of wine had already probably put herself over the limit, they decided to stay and carry on enjoying the evening, knowing that all they had to do was ring Linear Director's special number for their safety first policy, and they would send a taxi at no charge to pick her and Tom up and take them home back to Elveria, and at the same time, as Lily wanted, their car was taken on a tow truck back home as well. Now, why does Linear Director offer this free extra service included in their policy? Well, prevention is certainly cheaper than cure, and they want to make sure that they live up to their name, putting your safety first and catering to expats' needs. This policy is only available to expats with their NIE, with their residency number, and only for the province of Malaga, but you can use it up to 4 times a month. All this is in addition to the special features that Linear Director already offer their clients. As a Spanish company, they cater to all the legal local laws that are necessary when driving in Spain. They also have a fleet of tow trucks, mechanics, hotels, lawyers, anything you need to make sure you are safe and truly covered. All the documentation is in English, they have helplines in English, so everything is easy to understand. Linear Director really is putting your safety first. If you'd like more information on insuring your car with Linear Director, you can call them on 952 14 78 34. That's 952 14 78 34, and they'll answer all your questions in English. And of course, you can go to the website www.lineardirector.com.
Hello again, Marbella. It's Amanda here from Silk and Sin, and Nicole has invited me back to talk to you about what's quite a serious problem. Now, we're filming in the wonderful Velvet, and I am wearing Velvet in honour of our location. Gorgeous location, and it's actually a shame to talk about the problem I need to talk about to you, because it is quite a serious one, and it's a shame to speak about it in such lovely, uplifting surroundings. Very opulent and very luxurious. But back to the matter in hand, our problem. Now, we're going to call this young lady Sylvia. I'm sure I've had Sylvia before, but running out of pseudonyms is one of the problems of an agony aunt, because of course we're confidential. Now, Sylvia's in her 30s, she's independent, has a great job, has lived here a few years, has her own apartment, and in her own words, without being big-headed, is attractive. As she said, I'm not being big-headed, but I know I'm an attractive woman. She gets the attention of men. Now, she was single until about 7 months ago. And 7 months ago, Sylvia bumped into a very handsome, very nice gentleman who we'll call Mr. F in a club, and they got to know each other and eventually started a relationship. And at first, the relationship was wonderful. They got on together, they enjoyed the same things, they were both club sort of people, like going out, both quite sporty, like gyms, doing things together, and they got close very, very quickly. And he knows a few of Sylvia's friends, and Sylvia knows a few of his, so there are some connections. So she knows a little bit about him. The problem has been, over the last 3 or 4 months, about 3 months into the relationship, F started getting slightly possessive, and this has increased and increased and increased. And the things that Sylvia has told me has frankly set off warning bells for me. As a victim of domestic abuse myself, and it's a subject I think should be brought out into the open and talked about, I know it's not very cheerful, but it is something we should be aware of. The things Sylvia told me set off warning bells for me and made me think there's something not quite right here. It started out with F turning up at her gym classes. And at first she thought, how wonderful, he's come to pick me up, that's lovely, he's thoughtful, he's picking me up. And then if she'd go out with friends for a coffee or a meal, he'd be there afterwards as well to pick her up. And again, at first she thought that was a wonderful thing. That's great. Then she noticed him going through her phone one day when she came home early, and that seemed a little strange to her. And he said, oh, I was just looking for someone's phone number. So she said, okay, fine, that's fine. Then, and Sylvia's a party girl. She likes to go out with her friends once or twice a week and have a girls' night out, as we all do. And F has started being a little bit bossy about what she wears. You're not going out in that, are you? That skirt's much too short. You're showing too much cleavage. Why are you putting on that much makeup? Where are you going? Who are you going with? And this has carried on and on and on until really it's become unbearable for Sylvia, as much as she is very, very fond of F. And that's a problem. She's very into him. She thinks he's a lovely guy. She wants to take the relationship further, but something, thankfully, is stopping her. Now, they both have separate apartments. F wants Sylvia to give up her apartment and move in with him. He's even talking about marriage, and this is after knowing each other 7 months properly, which is, I think you'll admit, quite quickly. And Sylvia's a little bit dubious about this. Should she do it? It's a big step, giving up her apartment and her independence. She's also noticed that she feels her computer has been tampered with in some way. Various bugs and viruses, which we all get from time to time. But she has a suspicion that possibly F has been checking up and has put some sort of bug on her computer so he can read her emails, which is quite possible and quite easy to do. Although I shouldn't really be telling you that, but it is. And so things have started to get a little bit difficult between them. The problem being is that Sylvia really, really is into F. He's handsome, he's good looking, they've got lots in common, but these things are getting more and more worrying for her. And these incidences of his possessiveness and jealousy are getting closer and closer. She said it's worse when he's had a drink or two. Well, that again, that's what really sets off warning bells for me. Now, it can start off like that and seem very, very mild. It's a slight thing, he cares, he's worried about where I am. Or is he actually checking up on her? Is this going to get any better? Or is his possessiveness and his jealousy going to get worse and worse and worse? And that's what worries me. Because a relationship that at 7 months is at this point, it doesn't seem to me that things are going to get any better. And he's getting more and more possessive. And really, after 7 months, do you have a right, even after 7 years, do you have a right to have that much control over somebody's life, however much you love them, however much they love you? I have advised Sylvia to take a step back from the relationship, perhaps not see F quite so often. Confide in some friends. Her friends that she's spoken to already are very worried about this. And one of them, who's been through similar experiences, has warned her that things will get worse. I've advised, again, confrontation without aggression. Let's sort this out. Maybe in a neutral environment, talk to him about his possessiveness and his jealousy. But to be honest, I think this is a doomed relationship. I'm very sorry. And I have said that to Sylvia, that she should be prepared that she might have to end this. Otherwise, she could find herself in a very difficult and possibly dangerous position. We'd like to hear your views on this. This is a very, very important and very serious matter. So if anyone has suffered the same sort of problem, I urge you, get in touch with someone, look for support. Don't suffer on your own, especially if it's gone further than Sylvia and F's situation has. Anyway, we wish Sylvia the very best of luck and keep our fingers crossed for her. And thank you very much for listening to that quite serious problem in Marbella, and we would very much appreciate the viewers' opinions on this. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye-bye, Marbella.
Hey, hey.
Espero que mañana sintonizáis al 107.6 FM a las 11 de la mañana, porque estaré con Eva Bien en su programa de radio Las Mañanas con Eva Bien, con un invitado de nuestra comunidad internacional. Thank you so much for joining us once again. I was just saying that I'm going to be on the radio talking Spanish, well, to my best ability, with an international member of our community, with Eva VN on 107.6 FM tomorrow. Thank you for joining us this evening from Marbella. Now, it's always a pleasure to have you with us. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. And of course, you can check out all our programs online from our website, marbellanowtv.com. Un besito. Hasta mañana.
Halfway twisted, you've been out of shape.